Hi, in this episode we're going to take a look at some portable mic options. My name's Ian and thank you for dropping in on my channel. So far I've been looking at options where your camera hasn't got a mic input and the only option is to use the microphones on your camera or to use an external recorder. In particular I looked at a cheaper one, the H1N, the Zoom H1N, and I also looked at a few other possibilities and using a lavalier into them if possible. So this time we're going to look at portable options, other portable options that might be more useful as well. But by microphones that are portable, I mean microphones that don't need 48 volts phantom power. The recorder will provide 3 to 5 volts of power to your microphone. That means we can use small condenser type microphones and they can be a little bit better than a lavalier, sometimes at rejecting external sounds if you just want to go that extra mile. Of course, there are also some microphones that have their own internal battery, so you don't even have to worry about power coming from your recorder. The easiest option is to use the onboard camera microphone. Now, at the moment, I've got it set to automatic. This is actually a very windy day, and on a windy day, this is going to catch the wind, something chronic, and even now, some of my audio may have got blasted away by the wind. So this is the camera's internal microphone. On a day like this, probably a better alternative would be to use the portable recorder on its own. But as you can see, this is a little bit more obvious and I've had to put a dead cat on the top to try and control the wind. The advantage of this is you can actually move around and nothing changes and everything stays stable as far as the audio goes. So this is probably a very, very, very good option for outdoor mobile filming because it's compact, no wires, but the biggest disadvantage is this is going to have to be synced up with the camera when I get home. Now, if you've taken like 50 to 100 shots or something, that's a lot of synchronizing. Some pieces of software do it automatically, but if you've got to do it manually, it's a little bit of a slow job, but it definitely improves your audio. Another option is to use a lavalier, and here I am there using the lavalier. Now, this is an omnidirectional lavalier, so therefore it is going to pick up noises around me because it's picking up everything surrounding me. My body will probably block stuff from the rear, but generally this will pick up a lot of noise. Now, I said earlier in one of my earlier films that you can use a cardioid lavalier, so I'll try that. The microphone I'm using now is a cardioid, so hopefully it's picking up less sound from around and more of my voice. The only thing with cardioids is when you put them onto your chest, they very often can sound quite different when they're up against something, and when you take them away they come into their own. So when I'm using this one, what I tend to do is take the thing and I just hold it like that out of shot. That way you get a slightly perhaps more open sound in many situations, and it's not too noticeable. It's also it's quite easy to plant onto the camera there. So there you are, you can plant it onto camera and use it as like a shotgun, a miniature shotgun mic. So these are actually quite useful. This is also a great option. This is a small on-camera type of microphone that I'm holding, and this one comes with a lovely dead cat, and it has a particularly good sound actually, and this is a useful thing if you're going to go into the upgrade path, because later on if you get a camera with an audio input, you can stick this on the top of your camera and you've got a nice little mobile microphone on top. The wind here is quite incredible, so if you're still picking me up, just shows you how good this dead cat actually is. Well, this microphone's a little bit bigger and it's a condenser. It's a condenser type microphone. It has its own battery power, so therefore you can put this into a recorder as well without using phantom. It's powered by itself, so it takes nothing from your recorder, and therefore your recorder might last a little bit longer, I don't know. This one might give a more full-bodied sound, especially outdoors, and can be very useful. Although I'm not sure that the wind, because it's so windy here in the UK at the moment, whether this wind break is stopping all of the sounds. So your choice of microphone is really going to depend on your situation, where you're filming, how visible you want to be, and how much gear you want to carry around. Although large microphones can sound quite a bit better than the smaller ones and the lavaliers, the problem with them is they are, in fact, much larger. So when you go out with your camera and you're holding a big microphone, especially if it's got a dead cat on it to stop the wind and everything, you're going to be much more noticeable, and that can affect the behaviour of the people around you. Smaller microphones might give you a little bit more noise and they might not sound as full as a large microphone, but actually they're much less noticeable in public situations. So choosing your microphone can be a little bit of a balancing act. First of all, you want the best audio quality, which generally means you need to go bigger, but if you go bigger, you don't want to be too obvious where you're filming. I wouldn't necessarily use this outside if I thought people were watching me. So the balancing act is how large a setup do you want in public, balanced with how good do you want your sound to be, and that's the kind of balancing act that I do before I go out filming. I hope you've enjoyed my video, and if you did, please subscribe and hit the bell so that next time when I make a video you'll get a notification. In fact, in the next video I'm going to take a look at some shotgun options, the little shotgun mics that can either be handheld or can be put on top of a camera if you have an audio input on your camera, just to see how they sound. We'll check a few out. Cheers for now.